never slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow.
The past is gone. Now's the future.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
Phil Goldberg.
And welcome back to another edition of the Weekly Review. My name is Michael Larkin, and joining me today are my boys DC Daniel Crimmins and the dead man of RWT, Paul Morales. Y'all, what an eventful week. We got SummerSlam topics to talk about. We got WWE ESPN, $30 a month. Oh my goodness gracious. And we also have the return of Brock Lesnar. And so much to dive into.
Almost running a woman off the road.
Jesus! Yes. And with
that happened too.
Yes. With that being said, let's get into our first piece of business. I figured we touch upon Cody Rhodes, baby. So Cody Rhodes was recently asked on The Ringer about leaving AEW and how he felt disrespected. The quote being, "There's clearly bad blood, but there's also clearly respect. Feeling disrespected at something I built. Feeling disrespected there, I wouldn't stand for it." So here is Cody Rhodes on The Ringer.
There's clearly bad blood, but there's also clearly respect and love. And in the end, the way I kind of see it is, if I felt disrespected ever at WWE, that's one thing. That's a company that was built. Look at this glass. You know, that's the Yankees. That's the flagship of it all. If I ever felt there, you know, I was a number on a sheet maybe. But feeling disrespected at something I built, with my friends and with that we built, feeling disrespected there, I wouldn't stand for it. And I think Brandy and I both, I'm so blessed to have her. It was one of those where it was, I did way more here than you think. And you're going to find out the moment I'm out the door. I don't believe in like the cold-hearted, backstabby type of revenge. The greatest revenge on earth is success. And I felt like we were sitting on something wonderful, something great, a huge, potentially with what I was doing with the American Nightmare as a bad guy, as a good guy, as something in between. We're sitting on something magic. And if I'm not going to do it in the house that I literally, with Matt, Nick, and Kenny built, then buddy, I'm going elsewhere.
And he went elsewhere. All right.
Where did he go?
He went to WWE.
Okay, never mind.
No,
I know where he went.
My thing with that is, too, I think it's not, as you can see, it's not Kenny. It's not the Bucks. It's Tony. Because I think with Tony, and I'll say this right now, his direction is more focused on that niche product, just the wrestling, focusing on the sickos. And I think Cody want to expand more with the masses, much like WWE's doing and everything, much like Jade Cargill wanted to expand instead of just having the good matches she was having. And I think Tony and him clashed, and Tony was like, yeah, well, they'll never take you back. You know what I'm saying? And Cody's like, all right, watch me. Even towards the end of his thing, it was just they threw the thing back at him. It was two multi-universes. You had the Codyverse and you had the Elite. They never really crossed paths. So I think there was a lot that really gelled in his decision to go back to the WWE. And Daniel, I'll let you go first on this one. What are your thoughts on Cody's comments?
I definitely do think it was Tony. Whatever it was, you know, I think Cody's the kind of guy where he's classy enough that he'll dance around it. He might allude to things, but is he gonna come right out and say, this is exactly what was said, da 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 da? No, he ain't gonna do that. Now, I will say this. For a while, losing Cody, whether the fans want to admit it or not, hurt them. Losing Cody messed them up because they lost Cody. The shit with Punk happened twice. And now, I'll be honest, are AEW, are they kind of on the upswing now? I believe they are. I believe they are heading in the right direction. But I think there was something creative that Tony or Cody had pitched to Tony, and Tony's like, no, I'm going to do it this way. and which that might work on talent that have never been on TV before, at least in a big capacity. But let's look at the Rhodes brothers, and not just Cody. Let's look at Dustin too. Dustin, no matter where he's gone, has always been a company guy. Look at fucking Goldust. Made that shit work. And just as an aside, there's no way Terry Taylor as Goldust would have ever worked.
Oh, no, not at all. Not at all.
Yes, folks, that was the original plan. But then Terry Taylor said, no, this is stupid. I'm not doing it. Dustin did it. And honestly, one of the greatest characters.
1,000%. One of the greatest things that ever happened to his career.
And then Cody, his thing, he was dashing Cody Rhodes. He made Stardust work. Hated the gimmick, but he made it work.
Yeah, it was funny, the hissing and everything that went into it. Yep.
Exactly. Like, he made a fuck you into gold. And I think he probably suggested something. I think Tony probably threw it back in his face.
That's the worst part, is that you look at what Cody has done. Cody was the beginning of that company. Cody was pretty much what set off that company. Cody, the Bucks, Kenny, yeah, they had Tony there, but in their minds, in their hearts, that was their company. Were they looking to be the focal point of the company? Probably yes, and probably no. But I think at the same time, it's like they wanted to elevate everybody that they brought in. And everybody that they brought in, it was just seemed like they wanted everybody to have a piece of the pie. Everybody to get their fair share in the company. Do we know what exactly happened? No, but we can kind of speculate and kind of throw out, everything that Cody has said, everything the Bucks have said, everything that Kenny has said. And the idea of what transpired, none of us know, but it seems like it was a creative thing. It just seems like they weren't on the same page creatively. Obviously, this was all after Cody ended up not having to challenge for the world title. He lost that. Why? Why would anybody want to give that up and then all of a sudden leave the company? There had to have been something that was there for them to that wasn't clicking for both of them, or any of them creatively. And if Tony really was allowing other people to get creative with their plans or whatever, then we're just kind of at a crossroads.
Literally and figuratively speaking. I see what you did there. No, it's for me. If you look at his booking towards the end there, I mean, the last real feud that he had there was with Sammy Guevara for the TNT title. I mean, the Anthony.
But that was a good feud.
That was a good feud. Like,
it was a really, really good feud.
Yeah. The Ogogo
ladder match alone.
Yes. And that cutter by Sammy, geez Louise. And I mean, the Ogogo feud stunk. That was really one of the bad ones that he had. Everything else was fine, but the Ogogo one was kind of one of the worst ones that happened. That promo about America, and that made like really no sense, and it just went downhill after that. And then the weigh-in, goodness gracious. But yeah, he was in his own universe, and you could tell people were tired about it. I mean, when he got booed when he wrestled Andrade and he took that reverse suplex through the flaming table and all that, and people were like, no, we don't care that you just burned yourself on live television. We don't fucking care. And it was bad. Like, he got that heat. And I think his gimmick, and I'll say this right now, where he wanted to go with his gimmick, it wasn't translating well with that audience, because that audience is the sicko audience, and that his presentation was more meant for the main stage, if I'm being completely honest, because the sickos are the sickos.
Yeah, but if you look at how his how the character was going, let me ask you, was it creatively, or was it just the plans that were going in place at that moment in time that weren't clicking with people? Or was it the fact that he was still a face acting like a heel, but still trying to hold on to that face card?
Oh, it was. I think it was a mixture of both, and I think the fact that he was a babyface acting like a heel, but he wasn't giving in to the heel persona. Like he was still throwing the belt to him, and he threw the belt back. And a lot of people just wanted to see him go heel and rip ass, but he didn't. He stayed and held on to the Cody Rhodes American Nightmare that we know and love. Like he wasn't just going to change and progress within that character.
And I think he should have just went full blown heel.
I agree.
Because you could have still had Kenny Omega be that face of, that he battled against, or anybody else. I mean, you look at everybody that was in that company. You had John Moxley, you had Chris Jericho at the beginning, and for some apparent reason, like the last few years of him being there, it just seemed like it wasn't working. It wasn't clicking. Even through the pandemic era, it just wasn't clicking with anybody. And he held on to that, tried to be a face for as long as he did, and it just didn't work. It didn't work, and you could see the backlash from people that were there.
I mean, you could also add to the point, like you mentioned with Kenny Omega and Cody, you could kind of recreate that infamous heel turn that they did with the Bullet Club in Japan, like have what equated there and have that kind of feud in AEW that would have worked swimmingly.
The funny thing about all this
Mhm.
is you had, by and large, the AEW fan base, booing Cody, wanting him to turn heel and wanting him gone. And the moment that he leaves, they're like, oh, he'll be back. He'll be back.
Yeah, it's coming back.
And then you see him show up at WrestleMania and, oh, he's a traitor. He's this and that.
It was the presentation.
Mm-hmm.
Look at what he got returning to WWE.
Same thing. Literally, he had the elevator. He had that. He had the same fucking gear. He had the same song.
Same logo.
And he made it fucking work.
Because Vince saw that, and to his credit, Vince said, I want that.
Well, if you remember, we weren't originally going to get the song, and he was like, no, I want the song. We're going to use Downstate. We're going to use Kingdom. That's some part of the thing. I want the song. And they fought at the last minute, and he got the song.
What were you going to run him? What, Dashing Cody Rhodes?
Whoa! Yeah.
From the story I heard, and again, I don't know how true it is, but I'd heard a rumor was that it was going to be a remix, like a remake of that.
You see, what's funny you bring that up? That reminds me of when they remixed it in 2013 when he was a babyface, and after we dropped the whole fucking undashing stuff and he was the heel for a little bit, then he was the babyface with that theme with him and Goldust. That's what that kind of reminds me of.
Hey, sometimes remakes can work. I mean, for example, Our Lady Peace remade whatever, that one guy's theme.
Yes. Which is very good.
You could say his name. You could say his name. We know who the fuck you're talking about.
But no,
they redid Benoit's theme, and honestly, I think it's fucking sick.
I think so too.
It works. It really, really works.
Well, look at the Cult of Personality. They redid that when he came back, and that's great.
No, they remastered it. There's a difference.
They either in Living Color have either remastered or redone that song several times over the years.
Oh yeah.
But if you look, and I'll even use her as an example, Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift literally remastered all her stuff after her catalog was sold by behind her back, basically, by her business manager, and she basically redid every single song that she had. Here was the kicker to it, is that it wasn't exactly the same tempo, and she added a couple tweaks to each song to make them hers.
You know where she got that idea from?
Yes.
Ozzy Osbourne.
The other person that she got it from was from Prince, because Prince owned every single one of his masters.
Now, the story there with Ozzy, just to diverge a moment, well, technically this is wrestling related because Ozzy is a WWE Hall of Famer.
True.
Fuck you. I don't care. I'm going to say it. So his bass player and drummer that were on Blizzard of Oz had parted ways, and there were issues with the two of them and royalties. I forget what exactly it was. So Ozzy and Sharon basically redid that album. Like, they kept Randy Rhoads' part. But from what I heard, I think Robert Trujillo, current bass player for Metallica, used to be Ozzy's bass player, re-recorded it. And I think Tommy Clufetus, who was Ozzy's last drummer, did it. So it's not outside the realm of possibility. It happens.
That it does.
Yes.
And speaking of it happens, we gave you a lot of music, we gave you a lot of wrestling, but we're also going to go back to the AEW side of things, because we did mention Cody, but somebody else who spoke about AEW, we got from
Bill Goldberg.
Bill Goldberg. Well, we have the other side of things where we got fucking, good Lord, we are going to talk about the Hurt Business and MVP.
Oh, well, them, yes. Well,
Yes. The claims internally in AEW was that Hurt Syndicate said no to pitches of losing to FTR at both AEW All In and Forbidden Door. Instead, MVP had stated that the team preferred to lose the championships to younger teams. MVP's personal preferences were that of the Gates of Agony, the Outrunners, and Private Party. It was noted that Hurt Syndicate has already beaten all three teams. The frustration from the locker room is that the team are heels that do cool moves, beat up everyone, and give fans high fives on the way out. So the pitches there that I see, they've already beat the Gates of Agony, they beat the Outrunners, and then they beat Private Party for the tag titles. So, I mean, there was even talks, if you even look at more of the reports, like they were talking about doing Swerve and Ospreay, but Ospreay, as we know, was hurt, and Swerve is now going to the Okada realm for reasons. And, I mean, that's going to be a good match, but from having Swerve in that main event helping Hangman Adam Page, and then now he's going to go fucking in a feud with Okada, whatever, okay, sure, fine. And I mean, with FTR, I honestly think it's going to be FTR beat them, MJF costs the Hurt Syndicate the match, and then we're going to get the Hurt Syndicate against Cope and Christian Cage at All Out in Toronto, and then Edge and Christian are the AEW World's Tag Team Champions. And I think we're going to have MJF beat Hangman Page for the title, and at All Out, we're going to get MJF against Bobby Lashley for the World's Heavyweight Championship. So I don't see Hangman Page holding that title that long. And
No.
Okay, no, go ahead, Dan. You speak.
No, I'm agreeing with you 110%.
Okay.
And honestly, I think Lashley's going to beat MJF, and, you know.
We hurt people.
It's MVP going on his podcast and bitching and complaining about them not getting time.
Yeah.
Them not getting recognized, you know, in WWE. He didn't want to come right out and say that Triple H was a racist. He didn't want to say
Well, he pretty
that
much
he
did.
didn't. Yeah, but he pretty much did.
Mm-hmm.
I was getting to that, but
I'm
yeah.
not calling you a racist, but you a racist.
I'm not calling you a racist, but I've heard you say some things, and I've heard you say the N word before, you know, and, you know, with the hard R. But still at the same time, it's like, you don't go on your podcast to bitch and complain for the sake of bitching and complaining, because you're not getting your way in the company that you left for.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't like the way you guys were being presented and not being pushed in WWE, when it's just kind of ironic that Bobby Lashley was in the world title picture.
Well, that was
So make it make sense.
Yeah, to go into your point, when you're complaining about how Bobby's pushed and everything, and you know this over there in WWE, he's booked in the same spot. He's the fucking World Tag Team Champion. He's booked the same way that he was in WWE. So what are we talking about? Like, literally, what are we talking about, MVP? And
It's like, do you want like Shelton Benjamin? Do you want him to be the TNT champion? Do you want Lashley in the world title picture? Hell, if we're even going to go this route, I would much rather see Shelton Benjamin be a world champion.
Right.
For once in his damn career, I would love to see that man as a world champion.
Absolutely.
I want to have that same feeling that a lot of people had with Kofi Kingston winning that world title.
Oh, agreed. And Shelton,
We all would love to see that.
and Shelton's probably, if there's anyone that deserves it for his career and his great tenure as a wrestler, you got to give it to Shelton Benjamin.
And-
like, he's still so good. Yeah.
And I'll say it, with Lashley, he's either pushing 50 or he's in his 50s at this point.
No, he's 49.
So he's pushing
40.
50.
Yeah,
Hey,
No.
hey. Some of us are and some of us aren't. We're
Yes.
not old.
He's 49. Yes.
I'm going to say this. Like,
I know we're the same age.
I would love to see Shelton go the world title. I would love to see him win the NWA World Heavyweight Championship.
Hey,
You know, you think, to me, Shelton has been, to me, he's an old school wrestler in a new school wrestler's body.
agreed. I think he's one of those ones that can adapt with any
Oh,
style
yeah.
that you see him with. And it's one of those things too where, and we'll go back to MVP here because there's two other things that came out. So this was his opinion on frustration with AEW. Let's just say this: Bobby Lashley is a former world champion, and after we came here, Bobby was reduced to a tag team guy. Bobby is literally only bankable guy in AEW. I have my opinions, and at some point on my podcast, I'll talk about it. And then
So
the
now
other,
you go back to just before they left, after they left, before they left WWE. He said the exact same shit.
yes,
He did this again. He was complaining about them being in the tag team title picture, or Bobby, who was just not even like 6 months prior to their release, or him running out his contract, had world title matches.
he did.
And he was a world champion. So
Hurt.
again, I
Twice.
go back to make it make sense to me. I would much rather have Shelton Benjamin be the world champion as opposed to Bobby Lashley. Why? Because Shelton is a far better athlete. I'm not saying that conditioning wise, Bobby Lashley looks like a genetic freak.
I still remember there was a Raw in 2006, 2007. I'm going to say it was probably 2007 because this is when they were pushing Bobby huge to go against Cena. And Shelton made him look like $1 million in their match on Raw. I remember it. Like, he's leapfrogging. He's doing everything he can to make Bobby look good. And that is something that always sticks out with me because Shelton was a heel with his mama and all that, but he still made Bobby Lashley look good.
Shelton made Ric Flair, who at the time was in his 60s, look like a young man.
Was this around the time where he beat him for the Intercontinental title? I think that was the time, yeah. Okay.
Because Ric Flair supposedly made a pass to Shelton's mama.
Woo! Greatest player in the game, baby.
Oh, and here's one better. Who did Bobby Lashley beat for that world title?
The World Heavyweight title, the ECW
Yes.
title?
No, the world heavyweight title.
Oh, he beat the Miz, and then after that squash with the Miz for the
And
world
Drew,
title.
wasn't it?
And Drew, yeah,
And Drew.
yeah. There you go.
And then he had a really, really, really great match with Brock Lesnar.
Yes, he did. I mean, even if you
So
want,
again,
Yeah.
to make it make sense to me.
I know
He made Brock Lesnar look like a bitch.
he did.
Thank you.
He did. Oh,
Like I said, nothing
made
that he says makes
Goldberg.
sense.
He made Bill Goldberg
Goldberg.
look like a halfway decent wrestler.
The match in Saudi and the Falls Count Anywhere match. Hell yeah, man. I get it.
You know, here's the thing,
Mhm.
and you see it all the time, but MVP is burning fucking bridges. You see, WWE is too big of a company where he could do this there, and they're not going to fucking care.
No, it's like, all right, bitch.
But Tony,
hmm
if he does this enough times, Tony will say, "No, not doing
No,
it."
not doing it. Now this came out, and I know they just put out a video where it's like, say fuck you, Speedball, and then MVP's like, and Speedball's like, fuck you, MVP, trying to like address and sweep the rumors under the rug. Like everything's fine, everything's hunky dory. So this was the report that came out. From Fightful, it has been well known backstage in AEW that MVP dislikes Speedball Mike Bailey. A number of talents say that MVP made that clear and that he didn't want Hurt Syndicate losing to Jet Speed. It hasn't been said if it was in the cards for Hurt Syndicate to lose to Jet Speed. Nobody spoken to knew a specific reason for MVP's dislike of Mike Bailey. So he tried to rectify that with that little video that they did. Fuck you, Speedball. Say fuck you, Speedball. And fuck you, MVP. And they did that little play type of video to be like, you know what, the rumors aren't true. Fuck that. I believe they are, because it's like, I look at it from a stance like this, like he just mentioned about Bobby being booked. It's all right. We got these two young guys in Kevin Knight and Mike Bailey who are a makeshift team. Then you have the Hurt Business / Hurt Syndicate. Look at them and how they're built and their stature and how they're presented against these two guys. We're not losing to Jet Speed. So I think there's definitely a play there. And I think that's the problem with TK there. He gives a lot of these people creative control and he lets them just sway it around. Hello, Mercedes Moné, I'm looking at you. So that's the part of it that really just grinds my gears, to put it in the honest of terms.
Okay, Peter Griffin.
Thank you. So with that being said,
Mike, the last thing I want to say here is, and here's the fucking problem with MVP. I like MVP.
Me too.
I loved him in his WWE run. I think he's got a brilliant mind, but he wanted the Hurt Syndicate or the Hurt Business back in the day,
Hurt Business,
to be on the level of the Bloodline.
Yeah, he wanted Bloodline for Raw to be the Hurt Syndicate and do the Bloodline on SmackDown, Hurt Syndicate Bloodline.
And I remember seeing something where he had pushed a Bloodline versus Hurt Business War Games match, which that feud would have been cool.
But you have Shelton and Bobby, and I hate to say this, and I love Cedric Alexander, by the way, but Shelton and Cedric are not Jimmy and Jay.
And here's the other part. MVP's even said he can't really do it anymore.
Exactly. You don't see him wrestling as much.
And he's wanting, I guarantee he wants it in AEW. He probably wants him to be on the level of, he wants Bobby to be Roman Reigns, which I'm sorry. I like Bobby Lashley.
He's not Roman Reigns.
He does not have the charisma that Roman has.
I got into an argument with somebody on Twitter over this because it really irked me, because they were, and I have an issue with something that Paul Heyman said.
Okay.
And he was talking about Roman Reigns and, you know, the thing, how great he is and whatnot. But my issue is that 8 years prior, the 8 years prior to him becoming the tribal chief, he was dog shit. I don't care how many times Vince pushed him. I don't care. I honestly don't care how many times Vince pushed him. He was dog shit. On that mic, he was dog shit.
Literally with the dog food.
Every damn promo. I'm sorry. He was dog shit on every damn promo. He couldn't speak. He was not even the best person in the fucking Shield. I am sorry. Whether that ruffles people's feathers or not, I don't care. I am specifically talking before 2020.
The big dog.
Before August of 2020. I am specifically talking about the big dog because he was total dog shit. There was nothing about him that made him entertaining. Aside from Vince pushing the shit out of him, he was not entertaining at all. John Moxley, Dean Ambrose, was a hell of a lot fucking more talented than Roman Reigns. Seth Rollins was a hell of a lot more talented than he was. Hell, the New Day were a hell of a lot fucking more entertaining than he was.
Mm-hmm.
You know, to add on to what you're saying, Paul, and I will guarantee you this, if you think those 10 years ago, if Roman Reigns' last name was not on Hawaii, I could easily have seen him getting released.
Oh, yeah. I absolutely can as well.
He could have had that John Cena, not had that John Cena moment where, you know, you have that moment.
Alex Riley says what?
Oh, God.
Yeah, Alex Riley. Again, yeah, well, exactly. I'm sorry. Damian Sandow was more over than fucking Roman Reigns.
His Dow was way over with that time period. My goodness.
Exactly, but that's what I'm saying. Alex Riley was a hell of a lot over. Matt Cardona was Zack Ryder was a hell of a lot more over than Roman Reigns.
Well, let me add on to yours for a second. Like when you say Alex Riley, so for those that want to go with that, because they were pushing him, when you beat The Miz like he did, the pop that he got when he absolutely mollywopped The Miz was huge. When Matt Cardona beat Zack Ryder beat Dolph Ziggler at TLC, his father having like the heart attack and the people screaming that he beat him and they finally gave this guy a chance was more over than Roman Reigns. Go ahead.
No, winning the ladder match.
Yep.
Winning the ladder match winning the ladder match for the IC title. That pop was fucking huge, even though they said he wasn't supposed to win. He got it anyways. But can you imagine anybody else getting that pop that was in that match? Hell no. Because the
Eugene was more over than Roman Reigns.
Oh God.
Dude, we could sit here all day. Yeah, we could sit here all day for all the people that were more over than Roman Reigns. Hell, fucking Daniel Bryan was hell of a lot more over than Roman Reigns. But we can go back to every piece of dog shit that Roman Reigns did when he was the big dog. Now that as soon as he took that tribal chief persona and you finally got to see Joe Anoa'i fucking come out of that, we got to see him come out of that shell and be a different person. And I want to credit Paul Heyman as much as he says that he's not part of that credit. Dude, Roman Reigns would not be who he is today without Paul Heyman. I am sorry if he didn't align with him, if he had no alignment with him, if he wasn't in his corner, if he was not his
wise man.
Excuse me. If it wasn't his wise man, yes. I'm sorry, but Roman just would have been Roman. And he wouldn't have been the one to carry this company.
Suffer and succotash.
Case in point.
We're going to move to this.
Folks, just as an aside, that happened.
I know. And that
go to YouTube, type in Roman Reigns, suffer and succotash.
No.
Say that at a promo.
Best one against him, John Cena. Don't worry. I'll wait.
I do this better part-time than you do full. Oh, God. That and just the face that he tried to make to get suffering succotash over.
And he kept telling him, shut up, John. Like, dude.
I'm doing this half-time because you can't do your job full-time.
Hell
hey,
yeah.
You know what? Hey, we could sit here all day about Roman Reigns, about the big dog.
So, well, actually, that actually could be a future show on here. Talk about Roman Reigns and the big dog and what went wrong. Okay. See, we just put the creative juices flowing. I like y'all's style.
There'll be a link down below. Cheap Pop, #1.
So you mentioned Brian Danielson, and you mentioned that moment, and then we'll get to the other stuff. But I had to bring it up because he spit in the face of a lot of people with what he said about his Mania 30. Oh, okay. So we'll get to the article. So Brian Danielson explains why WWE WrestleMania 30 doesn't mean that much to him. Brian Danielson reflects on WrestleMania 30, explains why that moment didn't mean much to him, and he quoted in this one right here. I main evented WrestleMania 30 with WWE, and honestly, it doesn't mean that much to me. My sister and my niece got to come into the ring, right? But I was about to marry my wife in the following Friday, and they wouldn't let her come down to the ring. They didn't want her to be in the thing. And then on top of that, it wasn't just that. I was going through a ton of neck pain and all these other things. So these things that seem like cool moments to a viewer, there's all this other stuff going on in a wrestler's life for a performer's life that could make that moment not as valuable to them as it is to the people viewing it. So I would say that at All In, it's the whole circumstance of knowing my career is coming to an end. It's knowing that might be the last time my kids ever get to see me wrestle. It's them being there, and it's the crowd's reaction. I mean, the UK crowds are just the best, right? And so it's all of those things. It's Swerve Strickland's performance and being in the ring with somebody who is, because I had wrestled him the year before, and seeing a performer come into his full power. You see him command the audience. That's just a cool thing to be in the ring with somebody like that, where you're seeing that, and you're seeing the growth that he had within the span of a year from the last time I wrestled him. So, I mean, it's all those things that I think make it my favorite wrestling memory. Okay. 3 words. Connor the Crusher. Like, are you fucking kidding me right now? Like that friggin' it's a Miracle on Bourbon Street. Michael Cole's call friggin' Connor the Crusher, the confetti coming down. And yes, what? I love the Swerve Strickland win, but god damn it, come on, Brian.
Let's look at the bigger picture here, Brian. And what do I mean by that? What I mean is simply this. What made that work is that Brian was so goddamn fucking relatable. Every single person walking this goddamn planet has had someone said, "Hey, you're good, but you're not that good. You're not at this
That level."
level."
Yeah.
We've all been there.
Oh,
Be
yeah.
it in a relationship, be it family, be it a
Job.
boss at your job. We've all been there. And we could all see ourselves in him. We've seen it, with other people, like with CM Punk, where he's been trying to redeem himself and get back to the world title. We've all been there. You have somebody like the redemption of Hangman Page. Same thing. There are certain events that are not about you. They're about the fucking people watching.
Mhm.
Look at WrestleMania 20. Look at Chris Benoit.
Yep. I was there for that.
That match was not about him. That match was more about someone who has been told that, hey, you're good, but you're not that good. You're not the guy, for whatever reason. Too big, too small, whatever the reason being. And it's finally showing the world that, hey, I can do this. And that's what WrestleMania 30 was. And honestly, as someone who literally watched every fucking WrestleMania, Mike is my witness. He would occasionally ask me, say, "Hey, what mania are you on? How are you making it?" Before WrestleMania 40, Paul, I literally watched every single one.
He was a glutton for punishment.
And honestly, WrestleMania 30 is in my top 10. Is in my top 5. And that moment, when you think of WrestleMania 30, there's 2 moments that stick out. 2. Number 1, the streak.
Yes.
None of us ever thought it would end.
Right.
I mean, I think, shocked Undertaker guy is big enough reason. You see that and you think, I mean, I've told Mike this story. I was watching it with my my late dad, and we heard we saw the 1, 2, 3, and my dad and I, we just sort of looked at each other like, was that supposed to happen? And then you see the graphic. And then the other one was Daniel Bryan winning the WWE World Heavyweight title, because he was always told as the guy that, hey, not only are you not, the big jack guy like, a Triple H or people like that, but you're an indie darling. He's another guy like somebody like a Mick Foley, a guy like that who does not fit the mold. And you can have these opinions, but sometimes don't express it. Just keep it between yourself. Keep it to your wife.
Whew. And with that being said, Paul, I go to you. Your thoughts on him saying that Swerve, that win at Wembley Stadium, was a bit more meaningful than what we got with the WrestleMania 30 main event.
I think in anybody's career, I think you go back and you want to say, well, take the recently deceased Hulk Hogan.
Mm-hmm.
One of Hulk's major accomplishments in life, in his career, was the passing of the torch. That's one of the great moments that he always reflects on, how him and Andre kind of went about this match. How everybody kind of knew that Andre was at the back end of his career, how many back problem, how his back was such a big issue. the pains that he was going through, everything that he did through the Princess Bride, how much the just relating in relation to the pains that he was going through, how he said Andre was pretty much that pinnacle in his life. Like that's a core memory that he remembers, and that's one of the greatest moments of his career. Yes, creating the NWO, that moment where he turned heel in the NWO with Scott and Kevin Nash. Yeah, that was a major moment. But I think for him, I think one of the things that he always reflected on was that moment with Andre in the ring, Pontiac Silverdome. That was always meaningful for him because he loved talking about it. And I want to say maybe in Brian's eyes, this was pretty much one of his biggest moments. But I would say maybe if the top two, one of them has to be that moment. I mean, if you, in his wrestling career, I think for a lot of us, yeah, that was one of the top moments for us. So,
Whew. And speaking of moments, we're gonna get to this moment because Rikishi, God damn it! So Rikishi does it again. I mean, he's friggin' criticized Jey Uso's booking, his title reign. He's criticized everything, but this also goes into the TNA front. So here's what Rikishi had to say about Zilla Fatu.
And
everything
just as
else.
an aside,
Yes.
have you noticed he hasn't said shit about Jimmy?
Oh no, not at all. He has not said anything about Jim, Big Jim.
Like,
Jacob.
hey, Rikishi, you do know that you do have another son in WWE, right? Besides
Yeah.
Solo and Jay.
Yes.
Like, you know that, right? Like,
well,
Jay's got a twin.
Yes. So he said this.
he may get them mixed up though.
So Zilla Fatu.
We know which twin is his favorite.
Oh my
Right.
gracious, yes. So Zilla Fatu responds to Rikishi's criticism for wearing face paint during his TNA match. Rikishi said, and I quote, "I didn't see why he would paint the paint on his face. I get it. You love Jeff. Jeff loved your pops, but your pops is not here anymore." Zilla Fatu says instead of criticizing him in the podcast reviews, Rikishi should have called him. Zilla Fatu also says his pops is still here and he ain't never left. So Rikishi, number one, go fuck yourself. And number two, Umaga had face paint, motherfucker. Like the tribal face paint, and Jeff Hardy was one of his biggest rivals. That friggin' second run of both Jeff Hardy and Jamal, aka Umaga, was some of the best work. Umanga was one of his best works. He always wore the tribal stuff. That's what Umaga's gimmick was, the tribal face paint and the tattoos and everything, okay? He was honoring his dad with the face paint and mixing it with Jeff because that was their top rivalry that Umaga had when he came back. Fuck off. And then we'll get to his... Go ahead.
I'll fucking say I don't give a fuck.
Hit me.
Rikishi is fucking jealous as shit because Umaga, Eddie Fatu, however you want to refer to him, achieved levels that Rikishi never did.
Yeah.
People still talk about Umaga and how fucking great he was. Mm-hmm. Like, he had his debut as Umaga against Ric Flair.
The night after WrestleMania 22, yep.
And Umaga had something fucking special. Where I have no doubt that if he didn't have his substance abuse issues, he probably would have been world champion.
Yeah, I agree. They were going to put him with The Undertaker after that.
They were turning him face.
Mm-hmm. We were getting there.
And honestly, this, Zilla's face paint was not really about Jeff Hardy. He was honoring his fucking father, your brother.
Mm-hmm.
Sit down, shut the fuck up, worry about your own self, and worrying about, hey, do I have enough 8x10s for the next convention?
Wow. Okay. Taking it there, the convention. Bitch.
Damn.
Paul,
I ain't got much to add on, but I am gonna say this: like, Zilla was doing right by both his father and Jeff Hardy.
1000%.
And for him to honor his father with the face paint and to kind of relate it to Jeff Hardy, I thought was a beautiful thing. And I commend Zilla for what he did. I am behind him 100%. And Rikishi, you can go fuck yourself for even bringing this up as a topic.
So this is what Daniel has sent me. We are going to now go with Mama Zilla spilling that tea. So here is what Zilla.
Which, if you are not following her on TikTok, y'all fucking need to. Like y'all think about that mama that's gonna be your biggest fucking cheerleader. It's her.
It's her. So here is Mama Zilla.
I'm the one who said, "Go get the twins. Twins are handsome. I think we can pull this off." And then he said, "Okay, let's go get them." And that's what he did. Where was his dad at? He never did. And he got jealous. How many months were the twins here? 9 months they stayed with me. 9 months. 9-10 months they got their development deal. Why? I was cooking every day, every morning, make shake, take to the gym. We all went to the gym, come back home, shower. Then my late husband would take him to Booker. Come on now. Same thing. Same out, grind. What happened? They got development deal 9-10 months. 9-10 months. And this is when his brother was jealous of him. Sorry, I'm putting all this in. This is the same.
So Mama Zilla is a real one, number one. Number two, the Usos have even expressed this, that if it wasn't for Umaga, they wouldn't have gotten the developmental deal and traveling with him. Like, the Usos have said this.
Several times they've quoted it. It's been in a lot of the interviews that they've had. Jimmy, Jay, both of them.
Hell,
even
Solo
when they
said it.
and Solos even said it. Hell, no. Go back to Stephanie's place. They actually mentioned it on the damn show. How Umaga was one of the biggest reasons why they ended up getting their deal and why they ended up being wrestlers and in the WWE. Hello.
It's pretty sad that Umaga didn't, and I think Rikishi regrets it, that his brother did more for his kids in the business than he did.
Yeah. I mean, I'll give you a perfect example. When Umaga came back, like Daniel mentioned, Ric Flair, day after WrestleMania 22, what was Rikishi doing? Junior fucking Fatu in TNA. That bombed because he wanted more money, and you could tell he didn't care. He was just there for a paycheck.
And he looked like shit.
Bootylicious. Come on, man. Junior Fatu.
Like, I've tried to block that out of my memory, so thank you for reminding me of that.
You're welcome. But no, he was
I'm
terrible.
gonna get you back for that.
Here's the worst part.
Is
That Rikishi has had a long career in WWE, and I understand everything that's going on. I understand that he wants his kids, to kind of be in that top echelon because. Roman's there, the family's there. He wants to criticize how Triple H is pretty much taking advantage of his family, of the Polynesians, of the Samoan dynasty. It's horrible for him to say. It really, really is.
Jay has even said it because he bitched about Jay's short world title run. Jay even said that he took his foot off the gas when he won the world title.
Mm-hmm.
He has said it. Like, he's even said, like, hey, I made the mistake. I got complacent. And again, I will say this. I think Rikishi is trying to live vicariously through his children. He's like that parent who was like, hey, you've got to be a pro football player, pro basketball, or whatever, or you've got to be a doctor. That's what I always wanted to do, but for whatever reason, I couldn't. This is what he's trying to do.
That and you know, he's living vicariously through them and through the Samoan dynasty. You know, Roman Reigns was the top dog. You know, he was the tribal chief, so he was happy for him. You know, the Usos were the longest reigning tag team champions of all time. You know, he was happy for them. You know, they were on the top of the game. They come off of the pedestal. Now all of a sudden it's like, oh, I need to bitch and complain to get all my kids back on that top,
Well,
that mountaintop, or at least Jay, because he ain't talking about Jimmy.
Well, Jay is one of the most prominent roles right now. I mean, he's being involved in this whole thing with Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed, and we're going to see more with that. And LA Knight is now in the mix, and we'll get to it. But it's just like Jay's being booked well. You got Jimmy and Jacob doing their thing against Solo, so they're adding more layers, levels, and elements to it. So it's like, Rikishi, shut your punk ass up, pretty much,
Exactly.
bitch. So speaking of shutting up, there's someone else we have to get into that should just shut up, because she also made a comment. Y'all, we're talking about Brie Bella. Brie Mode. Brie Bella on the Nikki and Brie show said this. Brie Bella shares that Bryan Danielson working for AEW is a roadblock in her returning to the WWE. And Brie Bella said, and I quote, I have constantly made the joke, oh, waiting on the call, which in some ways can be true, and in some ways I'm just saying something cheeky and sweet so I could get on to the next question. When I look at that, I know my roadblock is the fact that my husband is with the rival company, and for some people it makes them uncomfortable at WWE thinking I would be there when my husband's with AEW, and you know what? That's okay. I've kind of looked at that roadblock as people have the right to feel. If people feel uncomfortable, they're uncomfortable, and that's okay. They have that right. Does it bum me out at times that I wish their feelings were different? Absolutely. But it doesn't make me angry, and it doesn't make me bitter. And O'Shea Jackson Jr., the son of the great Ice Cube, made a great comparison, and now here is O'Shea Jackson Jr.
I must say, it was a good day.
Yeah, Daniel Crimmins. If that really is somebody's reasoning then, and he pointed out examples, Rhea and Buddy, Aleister Black and Zelina Vega, Andrade and Charlotte, and Mia Yim and Keith Lee. So, Brie Bella, you can shut the fuck up right now. So, Paul Morales, your thoughts on O'Shea Jackson Jr. and Brie Bella, man?
O'Shea is not wrong whatsoever, and nothing he said was wrong at all. But here's the thing, is that why are you even trying to attack O'Shea Jackson Jr.? Why are you trying to come after Ice Cube's son? You know, it ain't gonna be a good day for you. You know that, don't you? I mean, he gonna be jacking for beats for all you know. You know what I mean? But seriously though, he gonna come with no Vaseline. I mean, yeah, I'm gonna go through all the through every song. You know what I'm saying?
I must admit, it won't be a good day.
Exactly. See, but that's just it though. It's like it's the dumbest thing that she has to say. It's like, look at everybody. We just named everybody who's had a relationship, who have been in different promotions. You know, it just doesn't make any sense to me. Why is this an issue? Why? I need answers. Why is this an issue? It shouldn't be.
I mean, I'll make another example. I know she's no longer with the company, but let's look at even TNA and WWE and NXT. Gigi Dolan, Parasilla Kelly, when she was there, who was she married to? Zachary Wentz, who works in TNA. Like, come on now.
Come on, man. Look at it just doesn't make any sense to me why this is an issue. But hey, you know what? If you wanna draw that line in the sand, especially with somebody who has the influence that O'Shea does, all the power to you. Go for it, girl. Go for it. But just know you're gonna get jacked.
And Dan, you want to add anything else to the Brie Bella situation?
Oh, Chelsea Green and Matt Cardona. That was the other.
Yes, thank you.
That was the other freaking couple that I was thinking of. But anyways, go ahead. Sorry, my bad.
Okay.
The thing with it is, maybe they just don't want her back yet.
You know who this reminds me of complaining? It reminds me of Mandy Rose complaining why she wasn't on Evolution. Those are the two whiners right there, Brie Bella and Mandy Rose.
But she was just supposed to be part of freaking Evolution.
I know.
Had Liv Morgan not gotten injured, she would have been part of Evolution.
I know.
and correct me, maybe I'm wrong, but haven't
wrong.
they had her on TV since Brian's been in AEW?
No,
No,
Like,
honestly,
not even in the crowd.
no. And I think with to go into Paul's point,
not even
you
not even when they were having like their throwback night. I don't even remember that one. I don't. Not even none of it.
Has she ever expressed interest, even remote interest, in coming back?
no.
No.
Well, to go into Paul's point, I think if Liv Morgan wouldn't have gotten injured, I think we would have gotten Liv and Raquel against the Bellas at Evolution. No doubt about it. No doubt about it in my mind, we would have gotten that.
That would have been on the card, and she would have been back. So
Shut up.
all that right there would have been for naught. Would have been.
And she would have found something else to bitch about.
Yeah.
Well, speaking
But
of,
why are you coming after O'Shea? I mean,
yeah, come on.
I mean, it ain't gonna be a good day for you.
No. So now we will get into the summer
Because he's a natural born killer.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna tell you something right now. Bow down before I come to your town, bitch.
You know, the gangster, the killer, the dope dealer.
Get your mind right, get your grind right, motherfuckers. Anyway, digress. Hello. I started this gangster shit, and this is the motherfucking thanks I get. Hello. All right, so hello. We're gonna move on to we're gonna go to the Brian hour. There's not much of Dave, really not much of Dave. We're gonna go to Brian though.
I swear when Meltzer does, it's like that sound that Homer Simpson makes when he's eating.
Don't
disrespect.
Oh, sorry.
I do have something else from Brian even before this, just because I look at it like this, and we'll get to it because he said some things about Tessa Blanchard. We'll get to that clip in a second. But first, here's the one that pissed a lot of people off. So Gunther versus CM Punk, according to Brian Alvarez, was atrocious.
SummerSlam 2025. Show wasn't very good.
No. It was a weak pay-per-view.
Whether it's WWE or AEW, they both have the opposite problem. There's so much nothing happening on a 3.5-hour show. Whereas like with AEW, there's so much happening, but it's like a 6-hour show if you count all of the different matches. But I mean, one thing, if we had an hour and a half of really good wrestling in a 3.5-hour show, we didn't.
No.
There was like 2 good matches on the show.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the main event was like atrocious. And Gunther did everything in his power. He tried so hard. But CM Punk was absolutely, completely gassed out for at least 15 minutes of this 30-minute match. And it just dragged on forever. And he was so dead, it actually made the finish even worse. Tomorrow's show, unless something goes terribly wrong, should be much better. It looks like a much stronger card. SummerSlam.
Okay, so we'll do this one first before I get to the TNA one, because the last time when we recorded...
Hold on a second.
Go ahead, man.
Brian Alvarez is a fucking dumbass.
He absolutely is. I know.
Do you know that? You know how much Hogan had to sell for Andre?
Yep.
How he had to look like he was in so much pain. You know how many guys have had to sell for other guys to make it look like, hey, you know what? I'm either gassed or I'm just out of breath or I'm just not or I'm trying to help the story or I'm trying to help the crowd or something like that. Get them into it. You know, because the comeback is better than the setup. You know, and a lot of people love that. A lot of people we dig it. You know, as wrestling fans, we love it. Yeah, we don't want them to come all in all hot and then all of a sudden by them both be gassed after 10 minutes.
Right.
Brian Alvarez just sounds like he's just bitching and complaining for the sake of what? Bitching and complaining.
I'll say it.
Go for it.
Brian Alvarez, to quote Stokely Hathaway, you ragged bitch.
I get, first of all, that promo, I get no hose. And friggin' Dax Wilder, friggin' Cash Wheeler, and friggin' Dax Harwood are trying so hard not to laugh. Got me. Just it was.
You'll get hosed. You'll get hosed.
You'll get hosed.
You'll get hosed. Okay, back to Brian.
Back to Brian.
1.75, you fucking chucklehead.
So Brian Alvarez, we didn't touch
Fuck outta
upon
here.
we didn't touch upon this with Slammiversary, so I'm going to bring this up. And Paul brought this to my attention as well. So Brian Alvarez pretty much said that Tessa Blanchard versus Indy Hartwell from Slammiversary was horrible. And here's Brian.
You should watch Indy Hartwell and Tessa Blanchard because aside from Minoru Suzuki and Butterbean,
Really? That bad?
this match was horrible.
Worse than Mickey James and Makito?
The last time I gave a match a half star on pay-per-view, I think you got to go all the way back to like Seth Rollins and The Fiend and Hell in a Cell.
Oh, yeah, that was a horrible match.
This match was horrible. I think Indy missed every last single thing she tried. She had maybe the worst day of her career. It was one of those matches where, like, I'm not saying she did it on purpose, but like, I watched this and it was like, it seemed to me like Tessa was letting the world know my opponent is terrible. I am much better. It was almost like she made it worse. Like, I mean, it was bad, dude. This match was bad.
So that was Brian's thoughts on Tessa and Indy Hartwell, which were there some botch moments? Yes. But was the match horrible? No, not at all. I thought it was a great showing from both of them.
I thought it was an entertaining match. I thought it was, it showed a lot more character from Indy that we didn't get to see in WWE.
Yep.
It showed a lot of people, that she's in this to win it, that she's not just here just to be part of a faction like she was with Candice LeRae and DIY. Like she's just not, the way. She's just not there right now. She's doing it on her own. She's going out there, performing how we all believed that she could. Is it perfect? No. Is it ever perfect? No. Do things happen? Yes. Botches can happen at any point in time. What if the next match that she has with Tessa Blanchard, all of a sudden it's like a 5-star, she comes out, both of them come out working like fucking crazy. Then what? Now you're going to look like an idiot because you decided to dog shit on them, for everything that you said.
I'll say
it make sense, bro.
If this match had taken place in an AEW ring, it'd be a 67,589 million stars.
You know damn right it would be.
Like, why in the absolute fucking fuckity fuck are wrestling fans paying so much attention to what this nerd has to say?
Because $15 a month, brother.
And they should pay us.
$10 on Cameo.
Oh God, how much is it on Cameo?
$10.
He charges $10 on Cameo just to say hi, I'm Brian Alvarez.
Yeah.
God.
I don't know, but he should be paying us. You're right, DC. You're right, DC. He should be paying us to jump on his Cameo.
Fucker. Fuck him.
Bitch.
Brian Alvarez and Dave Meltzer. All right, so we'll go.
Raggedy bitch.
Raggedy bitch. So,
but I don't think he was talking to Brian to Dave Meltzer when he was talking about.
No, that was Vinny.
Yeah, that was Vinny. That's the one where he was talking about CM Punk and Gunther.
Yes.
He's still a raggedy bitch, and you all know it.
Yeah,
bitch.
Well, speaking of someone who's not a bitch, Jelly Roll was on What Do You Want to Talk About with Cody Rhodes, and he said that he told Triple H that he wanted to lose at SummerSlam. And here's Jelly Roll's comments.
I'll tell you this, talking like homies. I told Triple H, I want to lose SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Just because no celebrities ever took a L.
Yeah.
They always put them over.
Yeah.
And if you don't put me over, always have a reason.
Yeah.
There's always just something lingering there. I can pop up anytime. Any one of those three are there.
Oh man,
You know what I mean?
He's right. He is absolutely correct. And let's put it out there, he fucking killed it at SummerSlam.
Oh, yeah.
That performance was fantastic.
DC, you go first.
I'll say it. Like, he's somebody that has busted his fucking ass. Like, he didn't have to do that.
130 pounds lost. Jesus.
Like, he took bumps. He took legitimate, kicks. Like, he fucking earned it.
He took a ball splash to a fucking table. We'll get to that. Jesus.
I would not be shocked if we see him at, like, Rumble or Because, like you said, he's got a reason now.
If you get Jelly Roll and Logan Paul one-on-one, I ain't mad at it, to quote Tupac. I look at it from a stance like this, with the right story and the right everything that goes into it. Fantastic. Go ahead, Paul.
Jason committed to this.
Mm-hmm.
Jason went to the Performance Center, spent the last 7 months at the Performance Center. This wasn't, hey, I'm just going to come to the ring, Drew Carey, Jay Leno, all these other people that are just
Snooki.
Snooki, freaking Mr. T. Yeah, Mr. T kind of trained, but there was no real Performance Center back then.
He talked about his mama.
Don't you talk about my mama? No, but on the real though, Jelly Roll went to the damn Performance Center. He was there. He got pointers, and he stated that in this interview and other interviews. Mark Calloway, The Undertaker, was there. He gave him pointers. Him and Michelle McCool gave him pointers. He wrestled wrestlers that are in NXT to help him out. It wasn't like, hey, I'm just gonna go out there, take some bumps, yada yada yada, whatever, and that's it. I'm done. No, dude went there, put in the work, worked his ass off, lost more weight to help him out, and he got his cardio up. Who does that aside from Logan Paul? The other person who did that was fucking Benito.
Mm-hmm.
And he went there, and him and Damian Priest kicked the knocked it out of the fucking park in fucking Puerto Rico. People want to come in here and say, hey, look, let me try this out. They don't do the commitment. Even there have been people who have stated it before. Their commitment to it isn't, and you got wrestlers, NIL people who come in, gymnasts, basketball players, football players who come in and can't hack it. Gable Stevenson, I am talking to you.
We're looking at you, Gable Stevenson.
And that's just it though, is like you got people who are willing to commit to it, and you got other people who aren't. This man, who was close to 500 pounds, lost all that weight and got down to a place where he went out there in front of 50,000 people and killed it.
And he did not need to take that frog splash through the table, but he took it. That whole presentation of just him getting up and coming back like Mick Foley, like, no, I got to get back in this match and save Randy Orton. The choke slam, the black hole slam, the fucking power slam off the top rope. And I know Logan jumped into it, but it was such a cool spot. And then him taking the pin. It opens up so much more doors. And I love Jelly Roll for that, because he's someone who is he's turned his life around. He's committed. And this is what happens when you follow through, unlike you, Travis Scott.
And he's even said,
yeah.
He was at times, he had asked him, he said, well, how soon can I get there? And they're like, well, 5, 6 o'clock. And then he's like, well, when did the guys and the girls show up? And they're like, 2. And he's like, okay, well, I'll get there at noon.
Hot damn. Yep.
He'd been there like the entire day at shows.
Mm-hmm.
And you had, I believe it was Channing Stacks Lorenzo even said, he was telling the story that Jelly Roll was there. He showed up. He said, he's one of us. So if you have the talent that's saying, hey, he took this seriously, he busted his ass, why can't the fans accept this?
Well, because they want to be all the celebrities are constantly, why are you doing this to me? I hate you all. But it's just,
But yet if Tony were to book it,
they'd
love it.
It's the greatest thing in the world. So
Greatest thing in the world.
What some people think is not the greatest thing in the world, before we get to Bully Ray's carrying cross idea. So, as we know, WWE's PLE offerings are set to debut on ESPN streaming service next year, which is planned to launch later and will cost $29.99 a month. Disney is paying $1.6 billion for WWE streaming rights. The 5-year deal will begin in 2026 and includes the U.S. streaming rights to WWE's PLE events. It will air on ESPN, and we'll see the Disney-owned company pay $325 million per year to WWE for the broadcast rights. People are pissed because they don't want to pay $30 for WWE. I'm like, y'all, do you remember the days when we would pay pay-per-view and it was like $34.95 for a WWE pay-per-view? Then it would go up to like $40 and it would be 10 more if you ordered it in high definition. TNA used to be fucking $9.95 on a Wednesday night, and then when they started going to pay-per-views, it was like $35. So we're used to this. You know what I'm saying? Do we like it? No, but then what we got with people, that it's a business.
There's another thing. There's another piece to this that people are not talking about. This deal did not include any of the tape libraries.
True.
That deal is still set to be signed. Could that end up on ESPN as well?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it could. Could it end up with another? Could it end up on Netflix in the US? Yeah, it could. Probably won't. Could it stay on Peacock? Probably, but probably won't. They're trying to get as much money as possible. Because remember, there was that thing that said that TKO as a group was like $3 billion in debt. They're trying to get that gone.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do I think eventually the tape libraries are going to come under that? Absolutely. And then $30 a month isn't that horrible of an idea. And if I'm not mistaken, and I don't like this as any more than the next person, but I think we need to also look at the fact that if I'm not mistaken, if you have cable and you get ESPN, you don't have to pay that $30.
Yes, that's correct.
If you have cable, and I believe it was, if you have cable, if you have satellite, if you have, I think now they were saying, I believe they said originally it was YouTube TV. Now they're saying that it's not YouTube TV. But if you do have a cable or you do have satellite, you have ESPN on your stream, I believe it was Fubo TV, Sling, Hulu TV, and I know that there were some that do have it, some that don't. But when you log into ESPN, the app, if you want to watch ESPN, if you go on there and it asks you to watch, click on the thing, it'll show you the list of providers that it has. Charter, which is also Spectrum, DirecTV, but it has a bunch of list of those providers. So if your provider is on there, guess what? And you get ESPN, you don't have to pay the $30, which I understand. A lot of people were immediately. I was too. Go back to my TikTok. My original one was, I was mad. Had originally just stated it. I had to come back on again after everything started coming up. Yeah, the link will be down below, but I mean, you could still sit there and you can run through it, and but you'll see that as soon as all the details finally started to come out. And I believe as this starts to gain ground, now mind you, they still have the Peacock deal until March of next year. So I don't know if you're going to get dual from Peacock and ESPN for their pay-per-views, but I believe that this deal starts with WrestleMania, which is shortly after the other deal with Peacock ends. So I don't know when in March. I just know it's March of next year. Specifically, what gets a lot of people is like, now we have no idea where the library is going to go. We have no idea what is going to happen. I still believe that it's going to end up on Netflix. I'm still under that assumption. But the terms of this deal, it has nothing to do with NXT. So the NXT pay-per-views, we have no idea where the hell they're going to be at, which I still believe they may end up on Peacock and they may actually stay there. Why? Because WWE still has their deal with NBC Universal, because they still have SmackDown. And that deal, I believe, still runs for another year, for at least for another year. Not to mention, I have one more thing that I want to point out. Sorry, I'm going to try and make this real quick.
No, you're fine.
We talk about NXT. TNA is actually looking for a deal. Who knows? TNA may actually end up on Peacock because they're losing WWE. Another one that may actually end up on there is actually AAA, which is owned by WWE. Could end up on Peacock. So ESPN is pretty much doing what they need to do, because let's face it, after the basketball season ends and in between, they do have baseball, but in between when the NBA season ends and when the NFL starts, there's a lull on ESPN. So it's like they're struggling to find programming. Yeah, they do MLS. Yes, they do the WNBA. Yes, they do in the National Women's Soccer League. They're doing more rugby. They're doing a lot of other different sports. But let's just face it: now that they have WWE, their Sundays are filled during the summer. Their Saturdays and Sundays are pretty much filled during the summer.
I think for me too, and for me, I like your point of TNA and Peacock. I would love to see them go to the CW, because then you could have Tuesdays with NXT and then Thursday the counter program because of their working relationship with TNA on the CW. I think that would be sweet. There's so many possibilities of what they can do with that relationship that is so beneficial. And I mean, with like you mentioned there, it's one of those things where you have so many things with AAA. I mean, we got Triple Mania coming up next week, and we'll touch upon that. But I look at it from a stance like this, man. You have so many possibilities and opportunities for them. Let them fucking go. Just let them fucking go. And speaking of people that we should just let go, not in the terms of letting them go and dissipating and getting released, but Karrion Kross, who wrestled Sami Zayn at SummerSlam. Sami Zayn getting the win, saying that we're done. Karrion Kross apparently has been offered a contract. I think in a way we're all getting worked, and I think that they have signed a deal, because I honestly cannot see him going to AEW, which I don't think he will. TNA would...
He's going to show up on AEW Dynamite Wednesday.
TNA is under different ownership with Carlos Silva, but I know he has had some bad blood from TNA in the past. But Bully Ray, the great Bully Ray, has put into fruition a great idea of how on Busted Open they should, do this with Karrion Kross. That's making a guy. Bully Ray and David LaGreca discussed Karrion Kross's future on today's Busted Open.
If Karrion Kross signs a new deal with WWE, and obviously they keep it quiet, how do you turn this whole thing into good television? You have Karrion Kross show up at every Monday Night Raw. You never shoot it. You never show it on Raw TV. You never show it in the arena. You don't acknowledge it. You let it live on social media. You start a true movement. Let Karrion Kross live on social media. The point where sign the petition. Karrion Kross shows up in Duluth, Piscataway, Des Moines, Bangor, Bakersfield. It's the Karrion Kross from sea to shining sea parking lot tour, where I am going to get 100,000 signatures from WWE fans saying we want Kross. And then I'm going to show up to the office in Stamford, Connecticut, and I'm going to bang on their fucking door with this petition. You say you want to take the fans mean something to you. You want to give the fans what they want. Well, here's 100,000 signatures from the WWE universe saying we want Karrion Kross. That's making a guy.
You know what? I don't hate it. I really don't. All right, I'll let Dan go. I see he's shaking his head. But I think for me, I also like the fact of building up the movement because it's something that people have wanted. We see such potential and growth within this man, both in ring as well as the promos. He has that style about him, that mystique, and it definitely works. I know some people would disagree with us, but then they have the right to, but also at the same time, too, you got to give the people what they want. Daniel, go, because I saw your...
My idea is better.
Okay.
I'll tell you what the fuck you do.
All right, go ahead. Speak on it.
You let Rollins and crew run roughshod over Raw for the next weeks, months, whatever the fuck. Does not matter.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody can beat him. To the point where Pierce, Triple H, and whoever, they think, okay, we've tried everything. It's time. And you have Rollins and crew in the ring, and you have Pierce on the stage just saying, you know, I've tried diplomacy. I have tried this person, that person. It's not worked. You've made me do something I don't want to do. You made me sign a deal with the devil. Lights go out. They come back on Cross, and Cross isn't there, but Rollins and crew are still in the ring. Sitting in the middle of the ring is the hourglass. And similar to how, you know, we used to get the Bray Wyatt laugh, we hear Karrion Kross just say, tick-tock.
I like that a lot.
And it goes to black.
That brings a great mystique and aura, much like we saw when Scarlett would drop the hourglass for Karrion Kross and Tommaso Ciampa and Karrion Kross and Adam Cole.
And then you make Kross the one that beats Rollins. And when the time comes, he doesn't just beat him. He squashes Rollins.
Like he did Tommaso Ciampa in NXT.
Yeah.
I like that. Incorporate a lot of elements. So Dan brings up a great point.
The boy, hire me!
Somebody hire me! I love you. Hire me creative and give me the pencil. So, Paul, do you have any thoughts of Daniel's point and, of course, Bully's point? Because they're both very valid points.
I think they're both. I want to say that I love them both. I love them both. But Paul Heyman, to his credit, when Ariel Helwani asked him about Karrion Kross, he said he's organically over. That's something that you just don't get from a lot of people, that you just don't get from a lot of stars. He has organically gotten over with the crowd. And it's a beautiful thing. It's a real amazing thing. You get to see him, you get to see the crowd. They were chanting, "We want Kross.
We want Kross."
That was just one of those things. And it was specifically after that promo, which just so happened to be after WrestleMania. And Paul Heyman, here, we got it right here, him talking about it. And it reminded him of Stone Cold Steve Austin, how he just organically got over with the crowd.
So we will now play the clip of Paul Heyman on Ariel Helwani, and then we'll get to the final talking point that made SummerSlam, that made us all go ick, and that'll take us into Clash in Paris in a minute. But before we get to our final topic, let's listen to the mad genius, the mad scientist himself, Paul Heyman, discuss Karrion Kross and comparing him to the rise of Stone Cold Steve Austin. Son, what?
What's going on with Karrion Kross?
In what way?
Something's happening. You see the crowd; they're chanting for him at the post show and all this stuff. He didn't get the W. Is there a thing here? Or is it just like the internet trying to make something into a thing?
Well, they've made it a thing.
Okay,
and it's not just the internet. It's the internet. It's the live crowd. It's the people that buy merchandise. He's a tremendous performer, and what an act he has with Scarlett. I mean, they are great together.
Should he be getting more opportunities? Should he be?
How do you know? Well, let me ask you this. If he were getting great opportunities, if he were the Intercontinental Champion or the U.S. Champion right now, would he have this level of support from the crowd?
No, they love to get behind, Kofi, Daniel Bryan. They love to get behind someone, the underdog, so to speak.
So it's working.
Yeah, it's working.
Yeah, it's working.
All right.
Yeah. It's organic.
And by the way, I'm not hating on it. It's fun. I like him. I'm rooting for him. It's just fun to see these things sort of like
Yeah,
kind of.
the audience is calling for him to be a bigger star, and if we don't deliver it on a timetable that an impatient audience, an impassioned audience, is going to like, they're going to get behind him even more, which is great. They're making him a star. We're not shoving him and Scarlett down anybody's throats. The audience itself is making him
Roman
a
Reigns.
star, and indeed, perhaps a top star. And he's talented enough, and so is she, to carry it. It reminds me of someone else, by the way, that was in WWE, that the audience felt, this is our guy. We like this act. We like him to be a bigger star. Why aren't you making him a bigger star? Damn it, make him a bigger star. We're going to chant his name. We're going to bring his signs. We're going to buy his t-shirts. We're going to demand that you make him a bigger star. That guy's name was Steve Austin. Daniel Bryan, too.
CM Punk as well.
My God.
I thought that's actually what you were going to say.
Yeah, but yes, CM Punk. But yeah, point taken as well. I concede that point to you.
Amen to all of that. Amen.
Everybody that was named,
Mm-hmm.
everybody was spot on. But yes, to his point, I love. Oh, I'm sorry, wrong way. I love DC's point. I love DC's idea. I really, really do. And as much as I love DC's idea because he's my boy, he's our boy and everything, I still like Bullies too because it kind of gives the layers to it. Although
the idea is better.
I'm not saying one was better than the other.
I am.
I'm telling you that the idea that you have is great. And I think if you go back and you listen to what Bully said and him going out and doing all that, and then him not knowing that he got signed, then that happening would be fucking extra top level. Mix the two, it's a perfect formula. I think you and Bully just ended up with the perfect scenario. Mix them together.
Get the best of both worlds.
Melting pot.
That too. Melting pot and best of both worlds aside. Y'all, we got one final topic. And it is.
And your name ain't R. Kelly, so you ain't got to worry about being the best of both worlds.
So we mean that. I got to run to the restroom.
So before DC comes back and we get his thoughts, we are going to give our initial thoughts on the return of Brock Lesnar at the end of SummerSlam. So John Cena, this is probably, besides the CM Punk match, this literally.
Say my name and I'll appear.
I
believe in Joe Hendry.
So Brock Lesnar comes back at the end of SummerSlam. John Cena, this match with Cody superseded and exceeded and made up for the WrestleMania match. This match, much like the Punk match, was good. The matches that he had were fine. Man, I'll say the one that really kind of equates to this, the Punk match, was good. But this was the best match that he's had in his tenure since coming back with the retirement tour. They went all out, and Cody Rhodes beats him.
He said all out.
Yes. They went Cody
At least he didn't say he went all in because it wasn't Vegas.
Hey now. Oh, that's what she said. So Cody winds up beating John Cena. Cody winds up beating John Cena, wins the championship back. They hug, all is hunky-dory. John Cena, the baby face once more. And then we have a throwback to 2012, the night after WrestleMania, where Brock Lesnar returned. He returns at SummerSlam 2 years after losing to Cody Rhodes, comes down to the ring, but John is ready this time. He puts on the friggin' wristband. He's ready, goes for the punch, F5. Brock Lesnar lays out John Cena to end SummerSlam, and people were pissed because, well,
I wonder why.
Because the allegations, he's mentioned in this lawsuit over 40 plus times. For those who have seen the actual lawsuit and have read it, go out of your way. It's out there if you want to check it out.
Yeah.
The allegations were that Brock Lesnar, Vince was like, hey, if you take this contract that's probably worth $1 million+, you get to have Janelle Grant. And Brock's like, hey, okay, I'm going to play into this and be like, hey, girl, send you pictures and videos of you urinating. Hey, girl, send you pictures of nakedness to my phone. And he had that weird kinkness to him. But what people are arguing within the discourse of the IWC is So what? It's allegations. He didn't go through with it and have sex with Janelle Grant, which he didn't. If you read the lawsuit, something happened and he didn't wind up having sex with her. But still, that's bad PR because this man who's a former UFC champion who they mentioned originally, but without mentioning his name, is involved in this. He didn't go all the way with her like John Laurinaitis did, and we now see what John Laurinaitis' side is on. But it's still not a good look. And also
people power.
But for me, and I've said it many times too, in this particular scenario in WWE's tenure right now, they don't need Brock Lesnar. I know a lot of people want to see Gunther and Brock Lesnar. If they do that, you better have him be the one to retire him like he did Bill Goldberg at WrestleMania. But
William Goldberg.
But you really don't need a Brock Lesnar now. Like the farewell against Cody 2 years ago was fantastic. You put over Cody in their series, but it's a mixed bag. Get John and Brock at what's the one? Crown Jewel. That's not going to be in Perth. That took over Saudi for this year. And we'll get into what's going to happen at Clash in Paris. But Paul, I'll start with you. The return of Brock, the bad PR. I know it's just allegations, but who cares? They brought him back. Go ahead.
We knew as soon as he came out, you're going to insert the gif of Mini Portable because her reaction was priceless. Shout out to Mini Portable. I love you, girl. Here's the thing is that I was mad. I couldn't believe that he showed up. I saw everybody that was there. I know all the pops that, were all over social media, and a lot of the people that we follow on social media, we all saw across everybody's platform. And then of course, that's when the backlash started coming, and then as to understand why Triple H canceled doing the post-show press conferences. Because he knew that he wasn't going to now. And I get from some standpoints, because a lot of people said, well, nobody was hitting him with any hard questions. Well, when he was approached with hard questions, he kind of dodged them out of the way, kind of gave like some little half-assed answers to a lot of the questions. And maybe that was just bad PR on his behalf. But in hindsight, we look at what Brock is still involved in it. The lawsuit is not settled. If the lawsuit was settled and everything was said and done, okay, bring Brock back. If that's a plan. Was he needing to? No. And then we come to hear that John had requested it. Now John's retracting that, saying, I didn't request it. So whose idea was it to bring him back? It was somebody's.
I think it's a mixture of, Triple H called and said, hey, you want to come home? And he liked the ideas they were pitching. I think it makes sense because these two, with John Cena and Brock Lesnar, go back to OVW. John Cena was Brock Lesnar's first opponent when he came back in 2012. 2014, the most one-sided WWE Championship match at SummerSlam with Brock winning. Brock, Seth, and Cena from the Rumble 2015. They haven't wrestled each other in 10 years. But still, it's not a good look. And actually, instead of the GIF as well, I've got to put up the little screenshot here of Mini Portable. And I don't even need to play it because there it is. That face right there says it all. Mini Portable's reaction of Brock Lesnar.
Shout out to Mini. Mini, shout out to you, girl, because
that look right there
said it all. Hold on. And then she did something after this, because there was something that she said, and everybody overreacted to her not making a face. And I'm going to be one to defend her, because you know what? I had that exact same face. Girl, I was just like, why? Like, you could sit here and say, well, John wanted him back, but why would John want to? We know that this thing isn't settled. If it was settled, okay, I understand. But it's not. It's still out there. And everybody knows it. And now everybody has said their piece about it. So what does WWE do? Yeah, they mention it. Yeah, they said it. Yeah, yada, yada, yada. But
that face.
That face.
We're going to put somebody else.
She got shit from people because she didn't say nothing and she didn't have a reaction. Whoa. This fucking piece of shit.
Yeah, I know. I had to
bring this fucking piece of shit right here.
I mean, he's a New Yorker. He's.
I don't give a shit. He's still a fucking piece of shit.
All right.
You don't come after fucking Minnie like that. And Minnie, oh my God.
So I'm going to read it. Before I play it, I got to read it because I had to send it to you because I know you love Mini Portable. Go ahead, Dan. What are you going to say?
So I'm going to fucking say it. Like, they did not need Brock. You know, they said,
yep.
And not only that, but if you watch the post-show thing, you had people chanting, "We want Cross, we want Cross," and it was clear they were saying, "We want Cross."
Triple
H plays it off as them saying Brock, Cross. They don't sound
the same.
And he says, "You want Brock? Well, you got him."
Yeah, no, we don't.
And then people booed him.
Yeah, and the thing too is,
knew this wasn't a good look, and they said, "Oh, this is what Cena want." Like, no,
and Cena has come out and said that that's not what he wanted.
I mean, he got the pop.
It was. I guarantee you, it was Nick Khan.
Yeah, I mean, Brock Lesnar got the pop. Don't get me wrong, and I think that's cool because they're doing Brock and Cena, I guess. But still, nobody who said, you know what, I want to see Brock Lesnar come back. The 2 years ago, the send off was perfect. We don't need Brock Lesnar now.
And I guarantee within a year, Vince will be back.
I'm not going that.
And there were reports that they still had him on a part-time contract. They still kept paying him cat tax.
But
they were still paying him.
That's a kitty.
That they were still paying him his money just in case all of this went away. So dude was sitting at home on his ranch for the last few years just collecting money.
And while all these people were getting released for budget cuts.
Exactly. So make that make sense.
So before we get to the aftermath briefly, because I'll mention the two things I think are going to have to clash in Paris. What Paul is referring to, because I had to bring this on the show. JD from New York got absolutely owned by Mini Portable. So the clip is from JD's thing, and then I'll play the other one. So the first clip that goes into this was Mini said, LMAO, why you mad, JD from New York? Because you talk shit about AEW and still watch it. Because you never got invited to media scrums. Because Sean presses you and you always talk about professionalism when he does. This is the third clip I got sent to me about you talking shit. I will definitely assume it's me because you keep my name in your chihuahua mouth. Wow. And then I'll play the other thing that was mentioned under this. So here's what JD from New York, and we really talk about JD on here. And I know Beer likes JD from New York. Shout out to our boy Beer on Max Wrestling. But yeah, here is JD from New York mentioning Mini Portable on his.
I'm DC from New York, and I don't fucking like this guy.
There you go.
I seen a clip today from a female content creator who sat there for 3 minutes and didn't react to Brock Lesnar coming out. But she has a problem with Brock Lesnar coming out and returning to the WWE. If you didn't give a shit, then don't react at all and don't post anything. I don't understand these people.
And this was the other one. So she wrote, also leave Malcolm alone. He's a phenomenal creator and doesn't even do reaction content like we do on a daily basis. So what this was referring to is someone in his chat that was on his stream was talking about Weezy Blonde, Mini Portable, and Muscle Malcolm. So here's what JD from New York.
Keep my friends out your motherfucking mouth.
That's exactly what Mini Portable said.
Malcolm, Muscle, Mini Portable, Weezy Blonde, and Marissa are the 4 people who fake reactions to get on television. Oh. And none of them really make content that is deemed rewatchable. It's all right.
I don't know. I fucking watch them all the time. So if it ain't rewatchable, then they must be sitting across my feed. I love Weezy. I love Minnie. I love Malcolm. I love Marissa.
Tony Storm loves
I love
Malcolm.
them all. Fuck. Our girl Denise Salcedo. We fucking love her too. How come you ain't throwing that girl under the bus? Why? Because she on Busted Open? Why? Because she got all kinds of content out there? You gonna fucking roll, dude. You're just a piece of shit that ain't nobody fucking like. And the people that do like you are pieces of shit too. I said it. You want some?
Come get some.
Come get some.
If you don't like me, back me.
So speaking of wanting some and get some, we mentioned this, and this will be the final point besides Brock Lesnar's bitch assness. So I think they're going to set that up for the Perth show or Survivor Series. But what we did set up for Clash in Paris, John Cena cuts the promo. Yes, I'm doubting myself because everything. I realize it's hitting me that I got 11 dates left. But then he goes, yes, I am afraid of Brock Lesnar. I'm afraid Brock Lesnar's got a John Cena problem, Jack. And he cuts the babyface promo. And then he says, if you want some, come get some, Brock. And then he said, anybody in the back, you want some, come get some. And out comes Logan Paul. And so Logan Paul comes out, and obviously they teamed a few months ago at Money in the Bank. And Logan's like, you switched up. I never switched up. And I want some John Cena. And then Drew beats him down. And then Cody comes out. They do the main event tag. And now it's official. John Cena versus Logan Paul at Clash in Paris. He better win. He better fucking win. And then Brock comes down and lays him out to set up Perth. But yeah, John Cena, Logan Paul, it's going to be fine. But yeah, I get it.
Can we please give an honorable mention to that backstage segment with R-Truth and John Cena?
Yes. That was fantastic.
No, I'm glad you're back, Ron, because for a couple months, you weren't acting like yourself. You
were going out there. You were being a heel. You were out there.
It was
The
perfect.
whole time you have Truth, just like,
what are you talking about? It was you. They are making fun of this now because I think WWE realizes they fucked up with turning him heel. After that,
no, you know what? We need a take two for this, man. We need a take two for this retirement tour. You know what, John? You are coming back at the next year. We're gonna hit the redo button. You're gonna turn heel on
That's
your
Ron
own fucking
Cena.
recognizance, and you're gonna do it the right way. I don't want you to be a heel. I want you to continue to come out talking shit to people, throwing them under the bus, and making them fucking think, you know what? Hey, I gotta just be you. Be the genuine you. But you ain't gotta come after the crowd. You ain't gotta come after the fans. Because a lot of us still like you.
Hell yes.
In spite of you being a dick sometimes.
Yes.
For the last 5 months, or was that R-Truth?
So Cena and Logan Paul is having a clash in Paris, but I think we'd be remiss with the last thing that we talk about because we mentioned everything that was the SummerSlam weekend and the news topics. But one thing I had to mention, because to follow up with John Cena, another match it looks like we're having besides Cena and Logan Paul at Clash in Paris is Becky Lynch versus Nikki Bella for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Becky Lynch with the line of the night. That used to be you and, oh, you can't see him anymore. Which everybody's like, oh, how many times has Nikki Bella heard that? But the crowd popped. It worked. She seemed unbothered. And now we're getting Becky and Nikki. It's the Divas era versus the Women's Evolution.
we are also getting Naomi, who has been absolutely just fucking killing it,
And Stephanie.
and Stephanie Velcro.
That's
it right.
I am so happy that they are
My wife, as soon as my wife hears that, she gonna kill you.
I'm
I think, honestly, I've been a Naomi fan for years, and you can tell she is just having the time of her life right now.
coming out on the scooter and just being a nut and just laughing. Doing
James Storm called. He wants his scooter back.
Walking with a limp. Friggin' Stephanie Vecchia's gonna walk with a limp. I'm excited for this. Do I think that she's going to win the title, Stephanie Vecchia? No, I think it's a little too soon. But I'm looking forward to the match. I think we're going to get.
Naomi's going to pull some fuckery and win it. He's going to retain.
It's so good, man. And I mean, Paul,
you can't just take it off of her. I mean, no. she just cashed it in a couple months ago. So I mean, you have to give her a good run with it. And besides, what's going on right now is that she has this character down pat, and she is doing the damn thing. Of course, then again, so did CM Punk. But hey, he was champion for about 5 minutes and 10 seconds.
10 seconds. Well, he beat Sheamus's record of Roman Reigns, at 5 minutes and 15 seconds. The old Sheamus pinning him at Survivor Series, yes.
Yeah, well, Drew McIntyre was over there like this.
Bored at work.
5 minutes and 38 seconds.
My goodness gracious. But yes, that will take place at the end of the month. But what we're going to talk about next week, of course, is the build up to Triple Mania, which will air on YouTube, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, noon this guy's time over there at Pacific Standard Time. So we get to watch some AAA. 5 matches announced. We'll talk about this one. Let's run down the card. So it's El Macias, a.k.a. Ricky Banderas, Judas Macias, against El Hijo del Dr. Wagner Jr. for the AAA Latin American Championship. Now, this is where the WWE match is coming to frame. It is it Flamer? L-F-L-A-M-M-E-R? Flamer? What?
Yeah.
Okay. Against
You got it.
Fabi Apache and Natalia for the AAA Reina de Reinas Championship. We have Los Garza, Berto and Angel versus Pagano and Psycho Clown.
Are we getting Natalia or are we getting Natty?
It says we're getting Natalia, but I think we should get Natty. Can we just get her like she did with Masha Slamovich?
Can we just get her in WWE? Can we just get that version of Natty in WWE? That's all I want.
Well, I mean, Natalia and Maxine got to win on main event against Carmen Petrovic and whoever the hell her partner was. The Dynamite Dolls, man. The friggin' Dungeon Dolls, baby. Come on now. And I love Maxine, but for the love
And
of
Becky Lynch and her are having a match on Monday. So
yes, come on, Maxine. Fuck yeah. Oh, and people tied it back to that promo where she told her to like find herself and all that. I'm liking it. I'm okay with that. I'm cool with it. So besides that, we also have Los Garza and Pagano and Psycho Clown I mentioned. We have the Judgment Day and a mixed trios match. It's Finn Balor, JD McDonough, and Raquel Rodriguez against Mr. Iguana, who is over like Rover, Nino Hamburgosa, and Lola Vice. And El Hijo del Vikingo, Dominic Dragon Lee, and El Grande Americana, who is not Ludwig Kaiser for the AAA.
Or Chad Gable, or Pete Dunne, or
Tyler Bate. We got 4 El Grande Americanas now. Oh my goodness gracious.
I am waiting for that spot from like WrestleMania 9 with the Doink the Clowns where they do the whole.
no, we're gonna. I believe I sent it to you guys on our IG. It's gonna be they're gonna form like a Megazord.
Megazord.
All they need is a 5th one.
I'm going to say this right now. We'll do predictions next week. But if Dominic, you want to do something funny, if you have Dominic win that title, oh my God, King of AAA, King of the Luchadors, let's go, baby.
Now, one thing that we didn't touch and it was reported is that Gunther is allegedly legitimately injured. It's supposedly a nasal issue that I heard is going to require surgery.
Oof.
There's no estimate as to when, but I'm telling you, if there's ever been a time to turn him face, it's now.
Oh, I concur. I mean, he's over like Rover. I think when you put him as the babyface role, he's going to be even bigger.
Yeah, he can be so much of a bigger star than what he is now.
We're going to miss you, Gunther. We really are. That's someone who I'm going to miss, because if there's anybody that was the top of the card in upper echelon, for him not being around for a few months, that hurts my soul a little bit. I'm not going to lie.
But I think it also gives them some time. It also gives him some time with his family.
Yeah.
He just became a father, so that'll give him some time with his family.
He's got a young.
But on top of that, when do you bring him back? Do you just wait until Royal Rumble, or do you wait till like Survivor Series, or just kind of? I'm sorry, but if John Cena is going to have a last opponent, I would much rather it be Gunther. But if we're actually talking about opponents, you can go back and watch the link down below of our show, the Roundtable, which will be down the link below, cheap plug number 3, because we actually did that. We actually did a show on who's John Cena's last opponent should be.
Yes, sir.
You can't see me. And imagine if we hear, you think you know me.
Oh God. Cope. God.
At the end of November.
Well, we
were supposed
happen.
We were supposed to get Brock versus Gunther at WrestleMania 40. It was supposed to be the 2 of them for the Intercontinental title.
Yeah, well,
we'll see what happens as we get
on.
It
was me, Oos, day 1-ish.
So we shall see where the road takes us. And y'all, the road is going to take us to another edition of the Weekly Review next week and our thoughts on Triple Mania and AAA. and everything in between. So we appreciate y'all listening, as it has been a couple weeks since we have done this show, but we're here and everything's all good on the front. And I get to work with these sons of guns. So with these sons of guns, we'll start with you, Daniel.
Yeah, but it was your fault though, because you know why?
Why?
This is what happens when you have so much porn on your computer
Okay,
and it
all right,
breaks
we'll
on you.
address this. I had a computer issue, so my computer got messed up, and it was not because of porn.
Mike, if that's what you like to do in your free time, and that's what you like to watch, hey, we listen, and we don't judge.
I just gotta say,
not to you. I mean, Paul and me, we judge. We judge privately
all the time.
Well, let's just talk about it right now. Let's be honest with ourselves. Here it is. Mixtape, Boner Jams 03. These are just scenes that I was really into in the summer of 2003. I digress. So with that being said, check us out next week for the weekly review. This will be out as well within the next couple of days. So with that being said, Daniel Crimmins.
Okay, Paul Rude.
Paul Rude. Where can we follow you on the social medias? The links will be in the description.
Instagram, Mike's going to put the link down below. Pundit just recorded again tonight. I'm honestly really stoked with how this turned out. Put
it out. Put it out.
I will get this finalized, and then I will have the link to Mike, and he'll put the link in the description.
Hell to the yeah.
K-pop number
4.
37,589.
525,600 minutes. So, Paul Morales, with that being said, where can we follow you on the socials?
There are names right there. The Dead Man of RWTV. You can find me on X. Of course, you can find my link tree down below, because this guy, and well, actually, that guy on that side, he's the one that puts all the links down below. So I'll follow all my social medias, all under the same name. You can find me on YouTube. You can find me on TikTok. You can find me on Threads. Of course, you can find me on pretty much all kinds of social media platforms. But I am doing a lot more TikToks. I am doing, and except for Pornhub, because that's Michael's thing, and X videos maybe, but that's also Michael's too.
Oh, wait, no,
I don't have an OF yet, so you don't have to wait on that.
Alrighty.
I'm sorry, Mr. Michael Larkin, my brother from another mother. Where can we find you at, brother?
SM Show 1 MCL 92 on the Twitter, Larkin_92 M Larkin MB on the Instagram, StevenMikeShow.com, LFCfights.com, and of course the S&M Network Show's YouTube channel, which you get the weekly review, Uncaged with Daniel Crimmins and I. This week will also be coming out our season finale of Uncaged Season 5, which featured us talking about the impact of the Four Horsemen. And you can also, cheap pop number 5. You can also check out Deep Into the Heart of Wrestling with Robert and Nicola and I. You can also check out the
number 6,
the Stephen Mike Show podcast, Pop Culture History podcast, LFC podcast. We'll make it 8 there. So with that being said, y'all, thank y'all for listening. For Daniel Crimmins, for Paul Morales, my name is Mike Larkin. We'll see you in the next episode. And well, Rikishi, you don't look fly today, and you can go fuck yourself.
William Goldberg.
Bitch.
I'll pay you.
Before we close this fine program out, we would also like to say congratulations to our brother from another mother, to our bro Ziz, member of the TSK, and our good friend, Mr. Moses Marquez, who just tied the knot. Congratulations, Moses.
It's about damn time. Man, it took you long enough. Man, I already thought y'all was married. Y'all lived together long enough. I figured y'all was already married, but man, hey, you know what? Hey, congratulations. Sorry we couldn't make it, but hey, man, no, we all send our love. I send, many heartfelt blessings to you and Pauline, and I wish you guys all the best in your future together, man.
Same, brother. We love you, and you deserve nothing but happiness to both yourself.
DC is speechless. Sorry, my bad.
We acknowledge you. We'll put up the ones for you, Mr. Moses.
Yeah, we put up the ones for you and Pauline, man. You know what I'm saying? All right, man. But brother, we love you. We happy for you. We happy for you and your family. Like I said, many blessings to you guys. You know what? Boom.
Too sweet.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow
past is gone. Now's the future.